7 o'clock.
Well, let's get started.
Let's get started. I made you co-host. Okay, great.
Okay. Gonna have public comment first, Joe?
Yep, all right. Is there anybody who wishes to engage in public participation? Seeing and hearing none. The first is administrative actions.
Yes, we have the June 13th meeting minutes to review and approve, as well as it's not really a budget update, but it is the results of the bid package 3 remaining subcontractor results. Also, we'll be asking to approve that bid package, which is the final GMP, and to approve the contract amendment that goes along with it. We're also going to be reviewing and voting to approve SMA's designer contract amendment 9, and then the budget revision request that goes along with that. We'll give you a quick status of the tile rebid, as well as a quick construction update and schedule update.
Okay.
First up
So do I hear a motion to approve the permanent building committee minutes of June 13th, 2024?
I move that we approve the June 13th, 2024 BBC SBC meeting minutes as written.
I will second.
Any discussion or comments? Hearing none, is there anybody who objects to approving the June 13th, 2024 permanent building committee minutes? Hearing none, they're approved.
Next up is the final GMP. The final GMP has a amount of $65,610,806. You should have received the whole packet on Monday, and hopefully you all had a chance to take a look at it. We are bringing the budget in at the approved amount at $220,459,379. We did come in a bit under, but we put additional monies to the GMP contingency and a couple holes in allowances in different budget lines where we know we're going to have changes coming up from the earlier packages. Does anybody have any questions on the GMP after reviewing it?
I do, and I'm trying to find it, Lynn.
Okay.
There was an area, again, it's a lot of pages, but there was an area that had like $50,000 for damaged tile, and there were like 7 or 8 items that that didn't make sense to me.
Those are probably holes in allowances that you know, typical things that occurred during construction that you usually can't pinpoint who you know, who did it in the project.
Yeah, but I want to pinpoint who did it. I don't want to spend $50,000.
You can't be everywhere at all points in time. So sometimes damage occurs that nobody's there to determine who did it.
But these seem to add up to almost $500,000.
Well, those are only used. I mean, you would know when they're used. They're only used if they're needed. Those are, like I said, are holes in allowances so that we don't have. It benefits the project to leave the cost in the project, because anytime you use the external construction contingency, you get less reimbursement you get up to 1%, and that's it's at MSBA's discretion, even if you get up to 1%. They review your external contingency usage as well as your owner's contingency usage. If you have holes and allowances in the GMP, you control the use of that. use of those as needed because there'll be a PCO, but it's there and it's, remains at a higher reimbursement rate because
Yeah,
of
I
its
just want to make sure that it is a hold and allowance and not just a line item.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, these are from lessons learned on similar projects that things that come up throughout construction. Certainly, if a subcontractor damages something and that's clear, we'll back charge them and that would not be put towards the project. To Lynn's point, that invariably there are some items that just happen, the nature of construction, that crop up. So we slated some money aside for it, and if it doesn't, it's all open book. If it's not legitimate, it's not going to get approved. And that money will.
Greg, you're
ultimately
gonna
to
find out quickly that this group doesn't like, oh, these things just happen, right? That's not
Sure.
you haven't been through it with us, but that's not a line we typically like to hear. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to us.
Understood. Point taken. I've just there was more of
Those
experience
can be
from similar
used-
projects.
Those can be
The
used.
other question I have, and just making sure, isn't bonds, fees, and contract related to the size of the GMP and their general conditions and everything else work off of that GMP along with the construction contingencies in it?
Not
If we pack the construction contingency, don't their fees go up?
fees are tied to a percentage of the contract. General conditions and general requirements are not, but credits coming back reduces the fee as well. So to Lynn's point, this is keeping money in the job to for maximum reimbursement, but certainly unused funds and unused fee would be going back.
Right? Anything else, Jeff?
Just a quick question from Wayne.
Yep.
This might be a little late, but have we accounted for all the abatement issues that might be arising from taking the old building down?
There is an allowance set aside for unforeseen asbestos. I forget what that is, but
as
there's
well
definitely
as
money
the
put aside.
amount that we know of that, was identified by the industrial hygienist.
Jason, do you have a question?
Nope, that wasn't me.
Okay. All right. Chip, anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay, anybody else have any questions or comments regarding the package number 3? Okay,
So, this gets us to bond contract amendment number 9, which, is the contract mechanism to add this money to, bonds contract. So, it is for the same amount as we just reviewed, the $65,610,806. And we do need a vote on this. Oops.
whoop.
So I move that we vote to approve bond CM contract amendment number 9, final GMP for all the trade contractor scopes of work for the final bid package number 3 in the amount of $65,610,806.
I will second.
Any further questions or comments regarding this motion? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes.
Jason.
Yep.
It's approved unanimously.
Thank you. Next is SMMA's designer contract amendment 9. This is for traffic consultation for the roundabout. This is for additional services in relation to that. And as I'll show you in the next budget revision request, we're utilizing money that we originally drew from under environmental site out of the feasibility study and schematic design process. So this is just a transfer of money.
Now, is this traffic consultation, is this the full amount or is this just the beginning?
I think this, along with what we included in the extended basic service amount totals the total amount.
Okay.
I think Helen could verify that.
Helen's
Was-
on.
I am here. Yeah, it's some additional work that is related to the traffic circle that a BSC group, our traffic consultant, did perform. It was related to the driveway that basically it has direct access to the new traffic circle. And so they were asked to study it. And then after meeting with the owner, decided not to make a change. They did do around a number of drawing revisions and have additional meetings associated with that work.
So this is the final amount for this BSC group as of this time.
For this
Do we have a-
particular
do we-
amendment, yeah.
Okay.
Do we have a backup for this? Do we have their actual bill and hours and all that?
Yes, you should have received the full packet, I
Well, I
think.
know, but you've got to remember that the package is 7,000 pages.
No, this one was just for Amendment 9 from the designer that had the backup from the consultant in it. It's only 3 or 4
Okay.
pages.
Was
I
there
like-
backup or was it just a letter? It was just a letter asking for a lump sum amount, I thought.
Yeah, it was a lump sum in the proposal from the supplier.
That's
So
correct.
why did we not get a real? I mean, how do we justify this if we don't have a bill?
We can certainly get you more information from BSC Group, but it is work they have performed.
But Helen, do they normally just send through a lump sum number?
Yes, as a letter, I asked them to construct it as a letter proposal so that it could be attributed to one of the pro-pay line items.
And do we have that letter attached?
It is
It is
attached, yeah. But it's a general description, so if folks are looking for more breakout, we can certainly provide that.
Well, no, was this sum associated with that letter?
Yes.
Can somebody pull that letter up real quickly?
Hold on.
Do you have it, Lynn?
Yeah, hold on. I just have to pause.
Okay.
It was just a number, Chip. There wasn't like hours or anything associated
No,
with it.
I'm okay I mean, to me, that's we're gonna do this work and it's gonna cost X. I just want to make sure the X's match. If you guys tell me they did, I didn't see the letter. You guys tell me they match, then I'm good.
You see?
Yep,
can see
keep
it.
going. Oh, this is here?
SMMA's letter, and then this is.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's
This is
what.
SMMA's letter, and this is the amount that matched. It's with their 10% markup of consultants. So if you take BSC's letter and take the 14,369, 6787 times 10%, that equals the 15,806.66.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right, you gotta give me a second to get back.
Yeah, we gotta go back to that vote.
Got it? Can you see it?
There you go. There we go.
I
Okay.
move that we approve SMA contract amendment number 9 for specialty traffic consultant services on the traffic roundabout for the sum of $15,804.66.
I will second.
Any further discussion or comments? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes.
Jason?
Yep.
Approved. Unanimous.
Okay, so, we also have to approve the budget revision request. And this is based on how the, amendment was laid out, but this is utilizing that leftover money that we had in the feasibility study under environmental and site. Utilizing this portion of it, we have $13,810.54 left in that budget, but we also have another budget line has about 80 something thousand dollars in it.
And Lynn, well, first of all, let's vote this. I move that we vote to PFA budget revision request number 4, which moves $15,804.66 from feasible studies and site environmental and site to AE other reimbursables for the sum.
I second. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You had the
Nope,
sum.
nope, I was done.
Yep, second.
Any questions or discussion? Hearing none. Chip,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Phil,
Yes.
Wayne,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
unanimous.
So Lynn, the question I had was, I appreciate that you've been pulling from this fund. When do we have to stop pulling? When are they gonna look?
As soon as I do as soon as I do the PFA bid amendment that incorporates the GMP, so probably by the end of July.
Do we know what else might be coming up that we can pull from here?
I think we were gonna try to do the plaque as part of
We
that.
we were gonna try to put a down payment on the plaque,
Big
On-
one?
on the big veterans plaque, yes.
I meant like a big down payment. We have 93,000 still.
It's a big plaque, I don't know.
And
Okay,
it's not that we will lose the money, we will just lose reimbursement on it.
right.
The more we can draw it down, the better for us.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Nope,
was the only
I didn't
thing,
know if there was a time limit on that.
Yeah,
Right, and
I'd
that-
say
your-
by
in your-
the end of July, beginning of August, whenever they approve the GMPA, the PFA bid amendment.
and that was the
Okay.
only item that we were talking about possibly using it for so far. We never know what'll happen in the next month.
Right.
All right.
Oh,
Next,
did we vote on that? Yeah.
yes,
I
we
think
did.
we did.
Okay. So next up, I'll just give a quick overview of where we are with the tile rebid, and if SMMA wants to add on it, they can. But we presented at the June 13th PBC meeting a tile rebid scope of work. There was some slight changes made on the various types of tile and the extent of them in the stairwells. But in general, the changes were as we presented it on June 13th. A bid amendment addendum number 6 was issued to notify the qualified bidders that the tile category was being rebid, and that was done yesterday. And bid amendment number 7, which included all of the documents that indicated the scope change for tile, was issued today to all the pre-qualified tile bidders. Also, Wakefield followed up and made sure all the pre-qualified bidders were aware. And our bid period will run from June 27th to July 12th. And right now, the final GMP includes the previous low bidders' bid amount and a contingency for any potential changes in the final bid amount.
Lynn, typically in this type of situation, do you find that still you get enough bidders, or do you do?
Well, it's only open to the pre-qualified bidders, and we only had 3, I believe. but it seems like they're all three picking up the bids.
Okay, I guess that was my question. What happens if only, 1 and 2 do it and 3 doesn't? Cause they're like, why
Well, I
bother?
think the problem only, I mean, if we only get one bidder, that's a problem. As long as we get 2 or more, we should be okay.
Okay, thank you.
Lynn, could you remind me, it was, between the low bidder and the next bidder was what, around 400,000?
100,000, yes.
Yeah.
And so how much is the contingency that you added in for potential changes? Because everyone has seen everyone's prices now, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just,
I mean,
I
I
don't think the low
expect it to be
bidders.
slightly
yeah.
higher, but I do expect them to be competitive because they still want the job, so.
Can you say how much of a contingency you added to the low bidders amount in this final GMP?
We carried the second bidder, so we carried the exact amount of number 2 from last round.
Oh, and it says and a contingency for any potential
Well, I
changes.
just
So
meant, yeah, the difference between the low and the second bidder is the second bidder's amount, so.
wait a minute.
So it was about a $400,000 contingency.
Yeah, from the previous low bidder.
Got it. So that's the amount you're carrying in that contingency in this final GMP. Got it. Okay, thanks.
Are there any other questions or comments going to tile rebid? All right,
I hope we don't have to talk about the tile rebid a whole lot more.
you mean that the tile?
I know Helen really likes this subject, but
Let's keep talking about it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
feel good about the changes. We feel it enhances the project, and let's hope we get some good numbers, and we can move forward.
there we go.
Thank
Just so
you.
everybody knows, the working group went over it and pretty detailed on the whole aspect of the change of the scope. So we were pretty happy with it as well. Okay.
So,
Lynn?
next up is just a quick construction update. I don't know if Brendan or Marcus is gonna take it.
Marcus, you want to take it?
So this week we mobilized onto Burnett Field. We dismantled and salvaged the dugout for reinstall after we're done with the culvert install. New quality fence was back on site, installing the remaining fence around it so we can close that field off. Quigley's on site, excavating and setting the retaining wall for temp SOE at the existing field house. They're also excavating, prepping, and backfill for the foundations on building A. They're continuing bringing up the grade to elevation 61 in buildings D and F. They started to excavate and prep for foundation installed on area B or building B. And then they're prepping and kind of closing off the upper lot so we can start prepping the demo and the rebuild of that. Keller was on site continuing the wraps in building C and D. They're going to be on Burnett Field, starting kind of at the head wall, installing the wraps back next week. Jail Marshall has been doing the foundations and footings in building A and B as far up to the existing culvert, and once we got them removed, they can finish those A and B. And then next week they're going to be starting building E. And that's about it for construction activities.
All right, any questions or comments?
Just a quick question on the schedule. I see there's 3 Saturdays scheduled for drain installation. Is that part of the project? Is it overtime or what is it?
Yeah, so the Saturday work is prepping for our big road shutdown on July 27th and 28th to get the culvert across Hemlock Road.
Is that overtime?
Yes.
Do we have to approve that?
No, it's part of the project, Wayne.
All right.
It's part of the GMP. But we have 2 other projects going on up the hill, and while Breakheart Reservation and DCR would like the work to be done during the week, we can't shut down those other 2 projects. So that's why we're pushed into doing it over the weekend,
Okay.
because it's a complete road closure. And
Any
there's no.
questions or comments? Any other? Okay. Lynn?
And then next up is just, our next meeting is scheduled for July 18th. And our tile bids are due on July 12th.
So those would be ready to be approved on the 18th, is that right?
Yes.
All right. Okay. And
July 18th is for regular,
regular PBC.
and for
Invoice.
project dollars, invoices, yeah, okay.
Now, Lynn, as I recall, make sure we get this right. We were going to have visits. The entire PBC can visit the site, correct?
On July 11th.
On the 11th, all right, okay, I was making sure.
At
that date
At
right.
5,
At 5 o'clock. So,
We have our working group at 4 and 5 o'clock is a walk.
okay, so if anybody is available on July 11th, and we're gonna be doing this once a month, at least until into the fall. The entire permanent building committee and just the permanent building committee will be able to walk the site on the first one being on July 11th at 5 o'clock, meet up by the bond trailer. Correct?
Yes.
Right? Anybody have any questions about that?
Do we need shovels and hard hats?
You need,
You need shovels, Wayne. No. No, you don't need any shovels. We do have to have hard hats,
We'll
though.
be given hard hats.
We have extras for, I mean, if you have one, by all means bring it, but we'll have proper PPE.
Vaughn, do you want to say something about footwear?
Yeah, please, no flip-flops, no open-toed, sandals, proper, ideally it'd be a work boot, but I think we can be a little more flexible since it's off hours, but certainly,
and pants.
and pants, yes.
All right. Anybody have any other questions or comments? The first one will be on July 11th, and we'll also have one in August. Okay?
That's it.
Sounds good.
Great.
All right, Lynn, anything else?
That's everything.
Okay, well, thank you very much. 28 minutes, I'd like to see.
You can spend a lot of money in 28 minutes.
In
can't you?
28 minutes, only 65 mil and 220, but that's another story.
What a deal.
And so I hope everybody has a very good 4th of July, and we'll see you in later in the month.
Sounds
Thank you all. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Good
Take care, everybody.
Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.